Very quick, this is how I modified these access door openings, because I wanted some solid bearing under that last joist, which here that wasn't happening. So I've added a joist there, and I've added the details because if we have to get into the center of this area here, that blocking that I talked about that's right here has to be able to come out. So on one of the sections on the plan, this calls for this to be removable. So if it's 4 plies, just run a couple half-inch anchors down into the framing, so that in the event that has to get out of the road, it's pretty easy to do. And otherwise, these are gapped back 1.25 inches. This front one is gapped back 1.25 inches, and all that has to happen, this dashed line here is where that panel, how far that panel has to slip out before it drops down. So you can get the panel out without taking this out, without taking these 2 bolts out that hold this down, or whatever two fastener method you use to hold that down. But this one's pulled back, and so this planking overhangs about 1.25 inches. You lift this up, and I did not add the handles or anything like that to the plan. Either cut some holes through this that a person can lift this up, some oval holes, or put some recessed lift lids on those. But it's just lifted up and pulled back, and then lifted up the rest of the way and out of the way. And that's it on that, and I'll show you this is how it looks over from an overview. I'm purposely running this slow so that I can comment on the things I wanted to comment on. And one of them is, and I would almost surely do this, I think those stairs should be shifted to the west, to where that landing and opening is coming between the hot tub and that last column. And then that wood railing would just attach to that last column. And this would give you a bigger space back here where people don't have to worry about, falling over the edge of that edge onto that landing. This needs another border plank here. I'm showing these border planks in dark. You would do those in whatever you want to do, but I was just showing them in dark so that you could see where they were. And remember, this has 2'8" on that right side, and about, I think it was 3 foot or so on the left side, 3'2" on the left side. At that alignment. But I just feel like those stairs, because if you move them over to the west, I think you get possibly one less riser on the east side one, and one less riser possibly on the west side one, but it doesn't really matter, it just makes more sense to me. It gives you almost 3 or 4 feet more of transition space getting down to that fireplace area just to start with. It's just better flow altogether and use of that space. So that's all I'm going to say on that.